Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is the Price to Sell podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Campoli. And today, believe it or not, we have another great guest for you because I only bring on the best. We have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jas Takhar. Thank you. Takhar.
Wow. Hey, you did good, bro. You did actually, like, it was a 7 out of 10 the first time, but in all honesty, brother, thank you for having me. I've been watching your content, been listening to your podcast. Kudos to your team and this studio setup, and to you as well, because as a fellow content creator, I know how tough it is to get guests and guests move, and you got to reschedule, and then to actually just put yourself out there. Like, you're not only doing it in this setting through a podcast, but you're doing it on a regular basis through all your Instagrams and the Facebooks, and to actually put yourself out there, I know how tough that is. So just big congratulations. It's the virus that I like to spread, which is positivity, and you're doing a great job with that, man.
Thanks, man. I'm always infected with that one. So
yeah, I know. It's a good one.
Appreciate the kind words.
100%.
You want to interview me now?
Look. I mean, I'm a fellow podcaster too, right? So like, I know, like, when I do these things, it just kind of naturally happens. But again, man, just really, really excited. I'm very, very blessed to just be living the dream, man. And I know how much business you do, and you and I were talking a little off air for a couple of minutes before we started this, and I'm very excited because it's the first time I'm actually sitting down with you. I'm very excited to see where this collaboration can go, right? Like,
yeah, we hit it off, man.
You're a real estate agent. I'm a real estate agent, and I think some people just in general think the pie of business is not that big.
Yes.
And from the first 2 minutes of me talking to you, I was like, I like this guy, man.
Yeah,
I think there's going to be some future here between us. So yeah,
pie is huge.
I know.
I love pie.
Well, you could tell.
Pie's great.
You could tell I like pie.
Gluten-free.
Gluten-free. Yeah.
So let's give the audience a little bio about yourself. You know, I heard a little bit about your story briefly on the phone, so I'm still interested in learning more. So let's tell them about you.
Look, I love long walks on the beach.
Me too.
You know, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, born and raised in Toronto, north part of Toronto. For your out of province, out of country listeners and viewers, in a little area called Rexdale. There's not a lot of people that to look up to, right? Like when you go to the corner and the convenience store and all that kind of stuff. But I was very lucky. My parents and my 2 elder brothers really sheltered me from that stuff. I would say, right, that having 2 older brothers is such a healthy reminder that you're closer to the bottom than you are to the top. Like, I just turned 40 a month ago.
Congrats.
and I got a 46-year-old brother, almost 50-year-old brother, and even till this day, like, I can't get high on my own supply. Like, with all the shit that's happening in my life, they'll put you down. You want to get humbled? Like, come to my house with my 2 older brothers, right? But my parents' father drove taxi his whole life. Mother worked in a factory. Grade 4 education for my mom's, grade 8 education for my pops, and they didn't know a lot about business and, like, didn't invest in real estate. None of that stuff. But the one thing that they really did a lot was tell me they loved me every single day. Yeah. Like, and my team knows, and I got my two of my closest people around us right now with Steven and Laura here. But like, they know, like, I like, one of the toughest things with COVID was that I couldn't hug people, and I couldn't like, we couldn't be with each other because I need that so much. And I just, 6 years old, 7 years old, I was the first kid to put up my hand to help with the bake sale and the book sale. Looking back now, I could tell why. I want to get out of class as quickly as possible. I love school. It was like class that kind of got in the way of me, just flirting and hanging out with the boys and all that kind of stuff. But 12 years old, paper route. 16 years old, selling shoes, for sprinters and marathon runners. So really needing to know product. Mm-hmm. Like, it wasn't just like people coming in and I need a size 9.5. It was like, why this shoe over the next shoe, right? And then 17, 18, worked for the Red Bank here in Canada and really honed in on my phone skills, because before online banking was telephone banking. You called people to do all your mortgages, pay your bills. I was the person who picked up the phone.
Okay.
Now you learn little things that till this day I still use, like, Matt, is it okay if I put you on hold? Mm-hmm. Asking for permission. Come back on the other line. Matt, thank you for holding. Like just little things like that
for sure.
serve. Do you mind if I address you by your first name? Like just small things like that, right? And then 20 was probably the biggest shift that happened in my professional career, because I jumped from salary into commission sales in car sales. And knowing the bar set so low in the sales industry, and if firemen and firewomen were the most trusted profession, I think salesmen and saleswomen are like the least trusted, and then car salesmen are like underneath like the ground. They're like, like the stigma around car salesmen.
Definitely a stigma.
And I'm like, shit, I'm not really like that. Like, I don't push people in general. Yes, I got the, maybe whatever your viewers and listeners will tell me, I think I got a little bit of charisma. I think, I got that gift of gab or whatever, but I never pushed people. I wasn't slimy. That's not the type of sales. In fact, I think the secret that I figured out is actually making it as easy as possible for people to buy. I think that's why in the sales industry and profession, I'm very successful in it, because of the fact, look, Steven, let me educate you as much as possible, and then you can now make a quality informed decision. That's what I did in the car business. Yeah. But then there was always something, as I think about it, I'm getting goosebumps right now, because there was something that I knew I didn't conquer yet, which was the biggest sales, like the biggest ticket item, and it was real estate. Yeah. I said, I'm going to go into this. Plus, I want to learn about investing. Obviously that when you go get licensed, they don't teach you how to invest in real estate. Yeah. I thought they did. I was naive. I thought that they did. So I got licensed and I said, listen, I'm going to start investing in real estate, but there's this one ticket item, the biggest one, I think, on average that a person's going to make. And that 17 years ago, man, got licensed, and as they say, the rest is history now.
That's amazing. And now you have a team of 54 agents?
Yeah, 54. Huge. Yeah, 50. A big shout out to my business partner in the real estate company, Simeon Papaelias. Some of your viewers, because I know we share some people in the community. I think I'm the better looking partner, that's for sure. Enough, yeah. But he's definitely just a big teddy bear. And him and I now have 54 agents on our team that cover the Greater Toronto area, and about 11 support staff. And so it's just really cool. We built a really cool culture. Yeah, I think that's the best thing. I think that's what I'm most proud of. Steven's here, Laura's here, Tyler in core staff. Tyler is my real estate concierge service, like director of concierge service. What that means is he calls our clients and says, hey, Matt, did you need a plumber today? Did you need an electrician today? That's his role.
Very cool.
Been with us for 8 years. Yeah. He was my waiter at Jack Astor's at the shops, like my head office downstairs. Okay. Now, 8 years later, he's literally running the most important part of our organization. Laura comes into my world 7 years ago or something like that, wants to be a real estate agent, got like slapped around a little bit in the business, because it's a friggin' tough business, right? But then realizes, look, I can carve out a niche here, VP of the company. Stephen Rochester, my creative director. Nothing happens in my world from a digital perspective. The man came to do landing pages for me. He's never done a landing page for me in 5 years. Why? Because I sit down with the guy and I'm like, how the heck did you put that video together? How did you put those graphics together? He's like, well, that's kind of like my passion. Yeah. I'm like, that's your passion? Okay, like I got a video that you can maybe put together, and now is the creative director. To watch these three specific people become leaders themselves, like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, it was always, hey Jas, what do you think? Hey Jas, what? Like now it's like, hey Jas, just so you know, we did this.
Yes, I love that.
There's delegation, which is very key, and I think I'm for the 97% of things that I'm shit at, i.e. like hanging this sign together, they know, don't put a hammer in Jas's hand.
I'm the same way.
Right? Yep. Right? But for that...
Every time a touch breaks.
The 3% is really like, one of the things in the 3% is delegation. But now this is not delegation. This is three people who have bought into a vision and taken ownership. Some of them are incentivized from the ownership perspective, but some of them are not. And it's this, like, that is probably what I'm most proud of. I love how many families we help, how many transactions and all those kind of numbers. I love the the DMs and you know the flowers people give me and all that kind of stuff, but to actually see these people become leaders now is really where the rubber hits the road for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like having proper systems in place, number one, knowing how to do it, and then how to do it properly, and how to keep everyone like that culture is like massive, so important.
And it's tough, right? Like,
yep.
I know a lot of people who have teams, and not just in real estate, but just in any business. It's well, Steven works for me and Laura works for me, so they better do this shit, right? Where I think the shift happened in my mind anyways, and this is not something I made up, it's just all the shoulders like that I've been able to stand on of like so many giants, the Tony Robbins, the Gary V's, the late great Bob Proctors and the Stephen Coveys, like learning all that.
Can I do a little cut you off for a
100%.
second? Driving on King Street, and I see, to my perspective,
Yeah.
it looks like Gary Vee on the street. Yeah. This guy's waving his hands like this, you know, blasting the camera with information. I'm like, holy shit, that guy's energy is insane. He walks to the door, it's him. So that was my first encounter with Jas.
Oh, that's so cool,
and
man.
I did get the Gary Vee
That's
vibes
so cool.
right away, so I just had to share that.
So lucky, right? I mean, you mentioned Gary, and I'll come back to what I was talking about earlier with Bob and those guys. But Gary, get a chance to meet with him and do a podcast with him, sit down with him for about an hour, okay, in New York.
You did?
Yeah, myself.
Oh, that's amazing, man.
I have it on tape and all that kind of. But check this out, Matt. That's not even, that was good.
Yeah.
That was good. Like, okay? What was great is the friggin' guy says to us, he says, go flirt around in my office for the rest of the day. And we're like, what do you mean? Just like walk through the halls and stuff? He's like, no, like stay here and make yourself at home. I was like, Gary, I don't think you know where I'm from, bro. Like, I know you're from wherever he's from. Like, I'm from friggin' Rexdale. Like, somebody tells me to stay around, I'm going to start opening people's cabinets and really being nosy here. You know what I'm saying? And so, literally, we go into the lunchroom, and people in his team are like, would you like something to eat? And all that. And so nice. But here's where it really... And every time I hear the Gary Vee kind of comparison, like it's to be spoken in the same sentence is really cool.
Yeah.
But it was the fact that he let me and let Laura and Clem and my business partner at that, like Simos as well. We got to sit down with this whole team for the day. So they told us their whole blueprint on content creation.
Incredible.
Like, I mean, all of it.
Yeah.
Like, and said, here's how you actually put minutes on the videos. So like I'm now at, Steven, what are we at? Like 12,000 hours of me recorded or something like that. So like at any time, my team can go back to all the times I said buy and hold, for example, out of the 11,000 hours. And it's timestamped to the day, to the exact video, to the link of that video. So now we can do little mashups. I would have no clue what the heck we were doing, all given by someone like him and his team. Yeah. So it was really cool, right? In terms of what I was saying earlier with, you know, standing on the shoulders of all these giants, what I learned is I work for them. I work for Steven and Laura and Tyler. I need to know what makes them tick and what doesn't make them tick. Like Elto, I call her Elto. When she's not having a good day, it's a matter of is it okay? We get her a Diet Coke. Like if it's something really bad, we might need to go get her a burger. I know that makes her tick.
Elto, how's your day today so far?
My day's good.
You need a burger? Okay,
like,
we're good.
Like that doesn't work with Steven.
Yeah.
So that's the difference with Steven. It's like, hey, Rochester, let's go downstairs and let's go have a couple of Ryan Cokes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know that about him. Tyler, neither one of those things work with him. It's, hey, Tyler, I got to go to the bank and make a deposit. Why don't you and I go for a walk? He needs that one-on-one time. Different. They all need it, but it's different, right? So from my vantage point, it completely comes down to, because either one of them can get a job. Yeah, I pay them. I think they get paid really well. I'm not just like razzing on them by any means. I think they do. But they can go get paid somewhere else. You can offer them that same amount.
I probably will after.
I know, right? But the difference is really because I know them.
Yeah.
And so I know what makes them tick and stuff. So just from a team perspective, like this thought process that you're the leader and you're up here and everybody needs to listen to your shit. That's so far, you know, I don't know if we can go that far with the F words and stuff, but I mean, like, that's so 1977. Yeah. Like that's just not gonna fly right now. And so you really got to put in the time with the team.
I agree, man. I agree.
Yeah.
Like I I don't have a team, but I have people that work with me.
Yeah.
And they have their own brand, they have their own thing. I just give them leads. I'm like, you guys doing good? Need any help? We're good. Like, I don't care to be like, I need your email to change to at Matthew Campoli, please, and also my face on your sign if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't know. I totally agree with that.
And sometimes even like, you're talking about an email, and just for like what went through my head is like Steven has his own team that now is with him in terms of like doing all the videos and cutting everything. He's kind of overwatching the whole process. But when it was just him and I really just working together on my content, I mean, sometimes he would pick a font or a color that I just like, for whatever reason, I just didn't jive with it. Right. But I just never was like, can you change that? The micromanaging, and it's not even micromanaging because it takes more time, which it does. The speed in which you do stuff is important. I'm a massive sports guy. I can throw sports analogies, till 9 ways to Sunday kind of thing, right? Like, there's a reason majority, and I know sometimes defense does win, but majority of the time in all the sports, the team sports, the fastest team wins.
Yeah.
In basketball and hockey and soccer, in American football and English football, the faster team wins. So in business, it's very similar.
I agree.
So there's that micromanaging, but it's also just understanding like my thought process on a font. Who gives a crap?
Yeah.
What does
exactly.
Matt maybe the viewer or my target market think means everything.
Yeah.
Now I also need to get the sample size from 52 Matts, not just one, right? So there's just so much to unravel and unpack when it comes to teams and stuff.
Yeah, agreed, man. I think you shared a lot of nuggets here so far, and I think the viewers are probably loving you. I do want to get into the content side of things.
I just love the conversation about teams
Me
and
too.
stuff and leadership, because it's just so cool to see. I'm glad that you took that first part there, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. And I'm learning so much from you right now too, because I don't know if the team route is for me, but the systems route, you know what I mean? And just like it's my 6th year now, and I finally hired an assistant. You know what I mean? So
so okay, really quickly,
Right?
because
Yeah.
one of your viewers is thinking that same thing as
course,
well.
let's do it.
And I'm down to do a part 2 and a part 13 anytime.
Let's do part 16.
You can tell that I like the sound of my own voice sometimes, right? So I'm good to do this over and over again. But the assistant, okay, like I think the biggest game changer in my business happened with content creation, and we can talk about that, right?
Yep.
But without the help of an assistant in real estate, forget about it.
Yeah.
Because you have 2 jobs as a real estate agent. And this is coming from somebody who's been doing this for 17 years, but a salesperson since the age of 12.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not telling you any of these things to impress anybody. It's really to impress upon people where all the data's coming from. I never flipped pizzas. I never worked in factories. I never did anything else but sales.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of data.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
In real estate sales, as a real estate agent, you got 2 jobs and 2 jobs only. Okay. And those jobs are to meet as many people as you possibly can, number 1, and you help them buy, sell, and invest, and that's number 2. Now, there's a lot of work that has to happen in between, but the job is to delegate that.
Yeah.
Because, like, look, I mean, I help a little over 700 families a year, myself and my team,
That's
out of
incredible.
which I probably
Massive numbers.
I probably
Yep.
do 200 of that from my desk, okay? I don't have an MLS authenticate. I don't even know how to get on MLS.
Yeah.
Not to say I didn't know how to do that, and I knew how to do CMAs and all that kind of stuff. But for 5 years, I don't have an authenticator. Laura was just telling me a couple of days ago that now it's an app on your phone. You know what I mean? I didn't know that. I had some like blue little thing that used to tick, that used to give me a code or some shit, right? Okay. A. B. I haven't touched a computer, laptop, desktop for over 4.5 years now. I don't tell anybody because I think I'm cool. I tell you because what you need to figure out is how can you meet as many people as possible.
Yep.
Like Matt's doing his thing with podcasting. He's getting a lot of awareness. He's doing content. He is obviously skilled in what you do. I can tell just by the vibe, right? I come here, the first thing you ask me, you want an espresso. Smart. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like you're making me feel comfortable, making my team feel comfortable. Very important. See, once you figure out, and you got to try so many things on how to meet people, right? Like if you're an NFL football person, like forget just the Super Bowl, throwing a party on Super Bowl. How about every Sunday you throw a little party and tell everyone that you're at the bar and you get people to come to you?
Yeah.
Because inevitably the conversations will lead to what's happening in the real estate market. We're so
Always.
lucky as real estate agents.
Always hot topic.
Right?
Yep.
Well, and the reason I think we're so lucky is because everyone needs our product or service.
Yep.
They either need to buy it to own it, they're going to rent it, like they're going to become tenants, or they're going to become investors, right? And so because of that, if you just take care of the top of the funnel, which is meeting people, you will end up doing deals. But where real estate agents go wrong is that they put their marketing hat on, they put their administrative hat on, they become website designers overnight.
Yeah.
Like they worry about putting up the lock boxes and the for sale sign. I can't have anyone print my CMAs because I'm the best CMA printer in the world. Or like I have to be the one who actually prints out the listing presentation, all that. So to you as well, Matt, right now, if you have an assistant full-time or part-time?
Full-time.
Full-time, great.
Yeah.
Like delegate everything, brother.
Yeah.
Everything. You know what I mean? Like think of ways that you can make your prospect, because not your client yet, your prospect more comfortable.
Yeah.
Like when they come and see you in the office, here's something I've been doing for 17 years. I put a little sign on a piece of paper that cost me 2 cents because it's black and white. I don't even put color. And when you come into my office for the last 17 years, this has been happening like clockwork, and I've never done it myself. It says, "Welcome to my office, Matt."
I love it.
Right?
It's on your door?
It's what do you call those things? Yeah, no, not reception. It's on a stand, a piece of paper on a stand, like one of those. Yeah, just
like in an open house.
A boom, just like that.
Yeah.
And I let my front desk person know I'm expecting Matt at 1 p.m. today. Why is that call important? Because what happens in regular real estate agents' offices? Client walks in, customer walks in, somebody walks into the door, receptionists are on the phone because they're working, they're doing their thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Hi, sorry, what's your name?" "Oh, Dean." "Okay, Dean, sorry, who are you here to see?"
Yes.
Matt, I don't even know if Matt's in. Sorry, let me check.
Yeah.
So now Dean's thinking like, holy shit, I'm about to spend $500,000, $700,000, $1.2 million. They don't even know that I'm coming. Matt doesn't know. Rather than get rid of all that stress. Call the front desk. Say, "Hey guys, I got Dean coming in at 1 o'clock. Can you put a sign up on for him?" Right?
Yeah.
So now, the problem as you get busier, you can't think about all these things all the time, but your assistant can.
Yeah.
Right? So if you systematize that where every time there's an appointment, how about a quick email even just before Matt's coming? Dean's going to be coming over at 1. He gets an email the night before. "Hey, Dean, very much looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Here's a couple of questions that I generally get from somebody who's an investor, somebody who's a first-time home buyer."
Yeah.
You let Dean know already. Like, "Dean, would you be like, oh, this is kind of cool. I'm starting to be in the twilight zone all of a sudden. Like, this is different type of service."
I think you're taking Dean away from me right now.
Well, no, I'm not. I mean, don't worry. I'll give you the referral fee. Don't worry.
Beautiful. Just even 10% is fine.
Yeah. So anyways, I mean, now that you have assistant, brother, like your game's about to change, man.
Yeah.
Like it's about to change because now you can focus on the core principle, especially, this just kind of came to me about you, Matt, like especially where you're at, because you got the raw talent.
Thank you.
No, you got a friggin' smile. You got the look.
Very expensive.
Okay. I didn't know that. But when you have that raw talent where you can sit down and talk and meet with people, then it's a matter of going all in on that and not focusing on all that mundane stuff.
Yeah, I agree fully, man. And it took me a while to actually just let it happen.
Yeah.
And take my, because I might have some micromanaging tendencies, you know, stuff like that, or a perfectionist, whatever you call it. But it's all good. You just got to trust, surrender a little bit.
Yeah, look, I mean, from a perfectionist perspective, I get it because I got people around me who are want to be perfectionists, or they've dealt with that in their life. At the end of the day, there's just an insecurity lying in there somewhere, and we just got to figure that out and pull that out, and you just got to keep asking yourself because, like, you're not perfect, and you can't hit perfect, right? But I don't know if it's like you always needed A's in class or whatever it is. There's something there that just needs to be uncovered because, man, when you release yourself from there, like from that, the game starts to open up and you just attract more positivity in your life.
I used to be every Instagram post like, "Hey, is this good? It's gonna do well, blah blah." Now it's just like,
good job. Damn, that's music to my ears, man. Now
my,
it's
my
quantity.
hair's a mess. I don't care.
Exactly.
Because that's me that day. So
right. And look, I mean, from a content perspective, when you get to that and you're just throwing it out there, now you're going to start to actually it starts the feedback loop for quality, right? Because you're putting out, like, it's one of the main reasons I love TikTok right now. Not because of like that it's growing so fast and all that. The reason I like it is because one video at 10 o'clock in the morning can get you 70,000 views. Then you put up another one at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or the next day at 10 o'clock again, same time. So just compare apples to apples, and you'll get 200 views.
Yeah.
The reason I love that is because like you have to now dive in and see, okay, what type of feedback did I get from that? Was it the way that I started the video? Was it the write-up? Right? So it's as you produce content and you do more of it, it starts the feedback loop to actually get better.
Yeah.
The problem is that most people never get started.
Yes. Huge. So let's get into the starting. A lot of my viewers are newer agents getting into the game. Agents just looking to change it up because they're scared of getting started. So 2022 content. How do people, just step out of their shell and actually make some impact this year?
And through the content world?
Through content world.
Yeah. So for me, that's quite easy, right? You just got to look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, which medium am I most comfortable in, right? So I, for example, in 2018 started a podcast audio only. The reason being because I didn't like the cameras. There's 3 of them on right now, plus Steven has his phone, plus Laura has her phone. They're all doing stories. I need 5 of them now. Yeah. Because I want different angles. I want like all that. So I love it now.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. But at the start, I started an audio podcast on purpose because being in sales and on the phone, my phone's my whole life. I know, like, nobody ever told me that I have a bad voice. Not that they said I have the most sexiest and sultry voice either, but I knew, okay, I could do this podcasting thing. Being of East Indian descent, my mom negotiating over apples back home. When I found out it was free, I was like, I'm all in now. Like, this is I can distribute to the world through iTunes and Spotify for free. This is awesome. $25 a month through Libsyn or Anchor anyways. But pretty much free.
Yeah.
So what I would tell this agent right now, so somebody who's watching or listening, is find out what medium you're most comfortable in. If you think you have what it takes, or you're at least willing to try on camera, do it. What I do think is most people just are not comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens to people. They get on 15 calls at in the morning about answering questions about real estate buying, selling, and investing. You put that lens on them and they freeze.
Yeah.
So that's okay. That's okay. We can work our way up there. Let's look at the other mediums, because we know people, podcasting, audiobooks is huge. We're not in the tens of millions of people. We're in the hundreds of millions of people now. Listening to podcasts and audiobooks.
Definitely.
So you know that there's awareness there, that people are actually consuming content. But now let's think to this and speak to the real estate agent who says, video cameras, no way. Audio, not sure about it. How about, are you a writer?
Yeah.
Are you comfortable putting your thoughts on paper?
Yeah.
If so, LinkedIn, specifically a website called medium.com, because it gets 150 million users a month. It's the YouTube for blog writers.
Interesting.
150 million users a month. This is a big boy. Medium.com.
That is.
Okay. And you can write long emails to your clients and to your database. If you don't like any one of those 3, there's still one other way that you can produce content, and that's taking pictures. Mm-hmm. So, but a real estate agent say, like, how do I actually make use of that? Well, what if you just, I don't know, took pictures of homes in Toronto? Literally, Steven and I are walking down here, and Steven looks over to one of the townhomes. He's like, Jas, like, this is such an older townhome. What do you think this is worth? I was like, off the top of my head, this one here is probably like 1.2, 1.3. Mm-hmm. Old, like, no work on it.
Yeah.
I go, but Steven, what they're going to do with it, they're going to rebuild it and all that kind of stuff. And he's like, holy crap, like, that's 1.2 million or 1.3 million. So what if you were the real estate agent who was just taking pictures of homes and condos all over the place and just putting out, hey, what do you think this is worth?
Yeah.
Or here's what it's worth, whatever it is, right? And so becoming and understanding what your strengths are in one of those 4, whatever you're most comfortable with, and especially if you get the hybrid of where your strength lies, go all in on that. I am a big believer that content is king.
Yes.
I'm also a chess player. Like I love playing chess. I know the most important piece on that board is a queen. So the reason I say that is because video is the queen when it comes to content. Because you can take video, take out that audio, transcribe it into the written word, take out clips out of the video, turn those into images. So this piece of content, we go for 30, 45 minutes, whatever it is, I can probably get 12 to 15 pieces of what I call micro content.
Plus we clip for you too.
Boom. That makes my job easier.
Right.
Now I really want Dean. Okay. Because I have a feeling he's doing it.
No, we have another guy.
Got it. Okay.
Big shout out to Dean is like the first base, and then it goes to second.
Got it. Hey, you got to start somewhere, so without Dean, it wouldn't happen.
Exactly.
Now, with understanding that video is queen, but if you're not comfortable with it and there's too much friction there, friction meaning like you're just not going to be able to do it. I get it. Do one of the others. So, our girl Alto, scared of camera. T-minus 2 years ago, 18 months ago. Audio, we all make fun of her raspy voice. So, like, she knew it growing up as a kid, and she's like, I don't know, maybe I'll do this podcast. I don't know. But you ask her to write a 500-word blog on investing in real estate, fashion, burgers, any of that kind of stuff, does it in her sleep. Got it? Does it in her sleep. Okay?
Yeah, she loves burgers, eh?
Loves burgers, okay? The only thing is you can't tell. With me, you can. Not you, obviously. With her, either you can't. Starts writing blogs, right?
Nice.
And so even on Instagram, you're like, well, you kind of need a picture. Yeah, so she would just take a picture of anything and then write a long form caption on it, a long form write-up on it. Starts to get comfortable with getting feedback, and then realizes, okay, you know what? I do want to try this video thing.
Yeah.
Tries the video, is like, okay, I'm getting a little bit more comfortable. What she didn't know at that time, but now she goes back to all those blogs, is that she actually has the scripts now.
There you go.
You get what I'm saying?
Smart.
So we repurposed those blogs and all her write-ups the other way.
There you go.
So to you're just starting in real estate right now and you're not sure how to produce content, video, audio, written word, or images. You got to pick one, because if you don't, here's just the truth. In 2022, you're going to be left behind. Because guys like myself and Matt and the other, I'm going to say 1,000 in the GTA are going to eat you for breakfast. And I don't mean that to razz people. I hope someone's listening in their car right now, taking their dog for a walk or on the treadmill, and really understanding, shit, maybe Jas is saying something because he's been through it. I want to get to all the 6.6 million people in the GTA and have them do business with me, but damn, I'm just not going to get around to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So why don't you get some of that and then shoot Matt a DM or me a DM and just say, hey man, that episode, that 37-second clip really resonated with you.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm really wanting to get people to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I cannot agree more. I think it's super important, especially now everything's so fast paced, everything's moving so quickly. Just being in front of people, and very competitive business. But
I mean, Matt, it's so nice when we wake up in the morning and we get an email or a DM or wherever social platform, and someone says, hey, there's this video that you did about investing into pre-construction or whatever, or the three mistakes sellers need to avoid. When can we sit down?
Yeah. And when did you make that video?
You did that video maybe 2 years ago.
Exactly, right?
And they watched in their pajamas.
Yeah.
At 3 o'clock in the morning, and you were sleeping, and then you get the message.
Yep.
And it will happen. I guarantee you. Just on a slight tangent, not really, but what I hear a lot of now is, I can't do a podcast. There's so many of them out there. That's just pure bullshit. Like how many people come up with clothing lines? Some sell, some don't. The ones that are good will always go.
Of course.
The cream does always rise to the top. There's a reason for it, because the second you start producing content, you're going to start to build your community. And the coolest thing with content, we're talking about, videos and all that kind of stuff. As a salesperson who's always fought uphill to build rapport with a client, now the video, the audio, the written word, or the image does it for me. So when somebody walks in to my office, they're a little bit more ready to possibly do business with me than they were before.
They feel like they know you.
Boom. Or and they at least made the decision. Okay, there's something about the Indian guy who waves his hands all the time. I'm down with him. Or the other way, which is 98% of people have either never seen my content or made the decision, that guy's on crack. I ain't working with him. What? He helps people invest in real estate, and he does it in a t-shirt and a hoodie, and he tells people he's from Rexdale. Oh, and he has a little bit of a lazy eye, which I do, or my hands get sweaty. I'm born with them. This is my 10, I don't know, like how many videos I've done. I'm not nervous. My hands are I came out of mommy with sweaty hands kind of thing. Like they've made that decision now. And now if they come into my office as a salesperson, our relationship is just a little bit higher. And so you're not always trying to sell to people now, right? They have made that decision that they're ready to possibly do business with you, because you better be able to negotiate a deal for them. Of course. Otherwise it was, it's all for naught.
Yeah. I call it the attraction agent.
Oh, what's that? Talk to me about that.
Like, instead of going out there and be like trying to close or seeming desperate for business. Yeah. It's the total opposite. Like you and me creating content, putting out the value, kind of chilling out, and then you're just attracting that business towards you. So it's like you're putting out that attraction vibe, and I call it the attraction agent.
Look, I mean, we would have to look back to our last 20, 30 deals just to kind of do to get some scientific facts and figure out who are, like, what's the makeup of those 25, 30 people. I'll tell you, know what I mean? Like, is some of them, for example, ones that can't spell half the words he says, like me? I know I suck at spelling, because am I attracting those people? I have a funny feeling I probably am. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because a lot of people, I say it all the time. Look, I barely passed high school, and if I didn't schmooze my way with a couple of teachers here and there, I probably wouldn't have got those grades. Like that 48 miraculously turned to 52. And I got a passing grade. Right? If I have a feeling, a lot of people that out of the last 6 months that we've done deals with are very similar to me, because we're probably attracting those people.
And those are the ones you want to work with.
100%. It's so much easier, right? I mean,
cuts the fat off.
Look, especially somebody who's in the car doing showings. Wouldn't you rather show properties to people that like you like talking to?
Yeah, you can especially bump music with.
Sure, exactly. You know what I mean? Like especially in 2022, where from a buyer's perspective, you're not getting a house after 4 showings.
No, you're not.
Sorry. You're going to have to do 47 showings over 3 months, 2 months. It'd be nice to like the person, right? Like, rather than trying to put on an act or that awkward silence at lights or whatever it is. I've been there, right? And so it's so much nicer just to shoot the breeze with people. Like look at us. I mean, I think the viewers can tell, like, there's some chemistry. We've never met before.
Just today.
But it's nice to have that chemistry and then work off of that. Exactly. It's so much easier.
I agree. So I'm calling you Jazzy V now.
And you know what? You could say Jazzy T.
Jazzy T.
I like that. Works. I like that.
See, I didn't think that far. But you're welcome. As we near the end, I have to do many more with you, because I love your energy. Like, I think people are gonna actually literally feel it through their headphones, whatever they're using. So. But let's just say that's that new agent out there, like, one quick tip of advice to maybe get them motivated. Maybe they're in a slump, because I get a lot of that with feedback. Like, hey Matt, thanks so much for your show. Like, I was gonna quit.
Yeah.
But, I got inspired and I'm back at it now. So for that viewer out there, or someone, maybe struggling a little bit, what's your...
Yeah, I'm going to say a word, and the word is SCITO. And most people are going to know, what the heck does that mean? SCITO's an acronym, SCYTO, and that's stop comparing yourself to others.
I like it.
Because I think what happens is, as you start to, as a newer agent, you look around and you're like, I don't got that. I don't got that look that Matt does. I don't got Jazz's energy. I don't have the skill set of a Laura. I don't have the skill set of a Dean and a Steven. What the heck am I going to do? And they're making so much money and they're doing so much deals. I'm here to tell you that you can only control what's in your control. So when you start to compare yourself to other people, you're taking up bandwidth, not www.bandwidth, the bandwidth in here, where you're not thinking about ways to meet more people and helping them buy, sell, and invest. That is what your job is. So spend all your waking hours, and subconsciously it's going to go into your sleeping hours, in figuring out how you can meet more people and help them buy, sell, and invest. The second you start to think about somebody else's success, the world will give you more of that negativity.
Exactly.
Call it God, universe, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you put out is what you get back. So stop comparing yourself to others, because chances are the ones that you're comparing yourself to anyways, it's a crock of shit. Like, what you see on Instagram is not always real. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because somebody says they do so many deals and this, that, I'm so, like, I hate telling people how many deals we do. Because one, like, I feel like I'm bragging or something, and I only say it now, and I said it earlier because it's like, shit, some people just don't know me. They're probably like, who is this guy? Why do I need to listen to him?
Yeah,
right?
Fair enough.
But I also know all my numbers are conservative. So if anybody want to back check any of my numbers, they can go nuts. You know what I mean? Because I know I'm conservative, right? But know that some of the stuff that you're seeing on the Instagrams and the Facebooks, it's not real. And the ones that are real, hey, you don't know how long it's taken.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm here 17 years and it didn't really pop for me in the business. Like, forget the social stuff. Like, pop for me in business, probably not till year 13.
Okay.
Like, year 13 was like, oh, I made it in this game. Like, Lord, that's true, right? Like, year 13, like 4 years ago, like, that was when we were like, okay, we got this. We got a good handle on it. Like, you know, if Simos, my partner, was here, he would say the same thing because he's been there from the get. Like, that's 13 years of 70, 75 hours a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so you're new, like, stop comparing yourself to others because it's just going to take up so much of your time.
I love that. Skeeto.
I'm
going to get it tattooed on my chest.
Probably not. Look, you don't need to, but there might be an NFT here.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Trademark. Sorry.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking some more languages here. I like it. But Mr. Jazzy T, ladies and gentlemen, you've been awesome. Loved the energy. Pleasure meeting you. It's been amazing connecting.
Awesome, buddy. You're awesome.
We'll definitely get you back on. I think everyone's gonna fall in love with you. So be careful out there. But where can they find you?
Matt, like, I'm sure you guys are gonna put your links and stuff.
But
I'm not.
They want to hear it.
Just wherever, man. I'm not hard to find.
At wherever.
At whatever. Like, I'm really, really easy to find. I'm not here to really like grow followings and stuff like that. I know I was given a gift, and people are gonna see it now. Like,
he's too humble, guys. We're gonna post his links everywhere.
Yeah, just
Follow
go nuts. You guys do
go
your
nuts,
thing.
DM him.
You do your thing.
Say you love him. Okay. Anyways, to all you people out there, we love you. You guys are the best. This is Price to Sell. Like, subscribe, share, tell your whole family, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.